Most people do not need to renovate before they sell. As a person who benefits when your house sells for more money. So understand that I am not talking myself out of anything here. I am talking you out of spending $40,000 that maybe only gets 30 back. What most homes actually need is a fraction of that, spent in the right 3 to 4 places. The trick is knowing which places and knowing when the bigger project is really worth it. Because sometimes it is. I'm Allison Costelow with Legacy and Lifestyle Homes powered by Remax Gold right here in Benicia, California on 1st Street. A lot of the people and clients that I work with are selling homes that they have lived in for 20, 30, 40 years. And with families selling a parent's house, those sellers get a very specific kind of bad advice. Somebody tells them, hey, that kitchen has got to be redone. Somebody else says those bathrooms are dated, gotta go. And before anybody has even looked at a single comparable in the area, a contractor's pulling up in the driveway. Whoa, slow down. Let me break it down for you.
So there are 3 paths. Every seller lands in one of 3 places, and they are not equally common. One path is selling as is. You clean it out, you list it the way it stands. Path 2 is, I call this prep only. No construction, no permits, no contractors beyond a handyman. Cleaning, clearing, paint, yard, and a punch list. Path 3 is targeted improvement. You pick 1 or 2 real projects and you do them really well and you stop. There is technically a 4th path, which is the full renovation.
And I'm going to be blunt.
For someone selling a longtime family home in Benicia or Solano County, the 4th option is almost never going to pencil out. You are spending today's construction prices to sell in today's market, and you carry every dollar of that risk yourself.
As is, it's treated like the sad option, but it's not. More often than people expect, this is the right option for them. It fits when a seller doesn't have the cash in hand sitting readily available. And I mean truly available, not borrowed against the house, not pulled from a retirement fund savings. No. It fits when nobody in the family is close enough to help manage people coming in and out of the house if your loved one is still there. Because that's a lot of moving parts, and text messages from Sacramento, Southern California, or across the US just isn't gonna cut it. That's when things go sideways. And it fits when the timeline is short, which is usually when there's already been a move in place for someone to move into a care home or community, and that house is paying the way. It also fits when the house needs more than just partial work. And that partial work would just look strange, right? So like, let's say you have an original bathroom, an original kitchen, original floors, all cohesive to a 1968 home. And then you go and put a beautiful, brand new quality kitchen in with a Viking stove. That buyer's gonna be standing in there going, wow, I have a beautiful kitchen, this is fantastic. And look at all this work we still have to do. No, not gonna cut it. Here is the part most people miss. As is does not mean you do nothing. It means you do not do construction. It means you still clear it out, you still make it safe to walk through, and any work that matters enormously, maybe you look into what that costs or you get some bids. Which brings me to the path most traveled.
If you take one thing from this video, take this. The highest return money in this entire business is the cheapest money. I know. Clearing out the house, just a good deep clean. Somebody who's getting down, cleaning the baseboards, the ceiling fans, all the cobwebs and nooks and crannies, okay? Some interior paint in a warm and neutral color where the walls are marked up or maybe bold colors overtake. Simple bright light bulbs that all match the same temperature. Carpet just needs to be cleaned. Maybe some needs to be replaced. Yard, just getting all of the edges clean, the dead plants pulled, all of these little minute cleanups, okay? Then a handyman for a day or two for, let's say, that sticking door or the running toilet or that loose railing that you know is gonna get called out or the closet track that's just been off the rail for years, but nobody cared, or an outlet that has been broken for 10 years, but nobody cares. Now is the time to do those little fixes. And all of that costs, I don't know, maybe a couple $1,000s. And it doesn't change the whole house, but it changes how it pictures, how it looks and feels to a buyer when they walk in. And that trust is worth more than any single upgrade you could name. When a buyer walks into a well-kept older home, they assume the systems are well-kept too. When they walk into a cluttered one and they start manually dictating all the things that they have seen and found, oh, and what else could there be? For a family I work with, clearing out is almost the hardest part. It's emotional, and it's the part that we start with first. 40 years of a household does not move in a weekend. Giving yourself 6 to 8 weeks for change is a whole new experience. There are many companies that I work with, that I know of, that I know, love, and trust. We can utilize them to help actually physically clear out the house with donations, estate sales maybe. Now, in the case where I tell you to spend real money, spend it where something is failing rather than dated. Like, let's say a roof is at the end of its life, a water heater that is leaking, an electrical panel that doesn't pass, a furnace that doesn't run. Those are not upgrades. Those are the differences between a house a buyer can finance and a house where the offer comes with requests for repairs, or maybe it needs to be cash and now your buyer pool is much smaller. So, fix the failing things. Spend it on the exterior paint. If the paint is generally gone, curb appeal sets a buyer's expectations before they even walk in the door. There's no recovery from a first impression, right? So you walk up and everything is peeling and chipping and going away. Game over. Spend it on the floor. If the floor is the loudest thing in the house, that it's carpet that has been there for 20 years and you can see the flow of traffic in the room. Maybe it has smells that has been kindling in there. And for kitchen upgrades, please, you don't have to do a full remodel. Paint on the cabinets, new hardware, upgraded countertops make a huge difference. It doesn't have to be a full gut remodel job. That is a refresh, not a renovation. So, for most homes, at most price points in this county, a refresh is where the math starts working for you in your favor. I would not add square footage, I wouldn't put in a room, I wouldn't bump out a room, I wouldn't convert the garage, permitting timelines alone. Patience and all of the things that come with those big projects just don't pan out for most situations, not all. And do not go above and beyond what the neighborhood supports. Don't go putting all of the upgraded fancy things into a home that is maybe in a area where all of the homes are collectively 70s homes that haven't been updated, so you have the nicest one on the block now that you're trying to sell. It's not gonna budget out for you as well as just doing a refresh. So, pre-listing inspections. This is where you're gonna find where I would recommend you spend your money. $300 to $600 roughly
just to get the information so people aren't nickel and diming you later down the line once you're already in contract. I always say this is what keeps you in the driver's seat. You already know what's behind the walls. You already know what needs to be fixed. So we pick the items that make sense for us to fix if that is what you would like to do. And if the big items you're not able to do, we get quotes, because when buyers don't have real numbers on how much a new AC costs or a furnace costs, the numbers that they're thinking in their head are at least 3 to 5 times more. So let's just put real numbers to it. And let's just say that there are multiple siblings helping to sell mom and dad's house. Having these numbers and this information about what's going on and keeping real numbers at the front of the conversation saves a whole lot of bickering and what ifs when we just have the numbers we need and things aren't coming up while we're already in contract. Because that's when it gets even more emotional. We don't want to go back on the market. We're going to stick it out with this buyer, but now we're spending even more money than we had intended. Getting those reports up front and that information paints a clear picture for everyone.
So when somebody asks me, which path should I take? I like to ask 3 questions. First, how much money can you spend? Like, how much money do you actually have, not borrowed, against the home? And can you afford this? What if you don't get it back? If not, path 1 and path 2 are probably going to be a perfect option for you, and we will strategize that way. Second, who is managing the work? How close do they live? If mom and dad are still living in the home and you've got contractors coming in and out, or you're living miles and miles away and trying to navigate all of this, things can slip through the cracks when we've got lots of moving pieces if somebody is not here. And that can be hard on the family, especially if there's multiple people. Third, how much time do you have? Not how much time would you like. In this market, homes here are taking somewhere between 40 days to sell, and buyers have room to negotiate right now. A 3-month renovation is a 5-month timeline. And when somebody is already set to move into a senior care and they need this money, that's not the right timeline for you to do a major project. These answers will help us decide what is best for your situation, because everybody is different. One quick note, if you do make improvements, hold on to those receipts, because certain improvements can actually affect your cost base when calculating capital gains. That is just a conversation to have with your CPA. The rules are different for if you have lived in the home versus if you inherited the home. So food for thought, but always keep your receipts if you're doing repairs on the home to get it up and ready to go for the market. If you or somebody you know is talking about this situation and not sure, sell as is, I want to sell, do I have to renovate the whole thing? Just reach out and I would love to just walk it through with you. I'll come and I'll give you my 2 cents on where I would spend the money and where I would not spend money, and hold on to it. Because it matters. It matters to each situation and each home, especially here in Benicia. We have so many different microclimates right here in our little town that it makes a difference. I actually put a room by room checklist in the description below, and this is a list I actually like to use when I'm walking through with sellers, and it costs you nothing. Just click on the link below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you know somebody who could use this message, then please bring them to my channel. I've got lots of great information about Benicia and senior real estate specialties of all kinds. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to getting to know you personally and catch you on the next video.